So dudes, welcome back to the Gregor Gaming Experience. I hope you are having a good day, especially because this video is also late. Oops. Yeah. Moving on. So, something that we all might have noticed if we were watching EU the other day is that Virtue sucks at the game, bro. He's bad. He's a bad player. That's the reason that he went and won 11-7, okay? That there's nothing else that could have happened throughout the course of these rounds where he could have contributed to the team, okay? And the reason that this game is on match point is because Virtue went 1-11, okay? There's no reason that Virtue went 1-11. It's all his fault. It's completely contingent on him. There is nothing that he could have done to make up for this performance in which that... No, of course not. Of course not, right? Like, that's bullshit. And so we're gonna kind of break down some of these rounds and talk about what it is to do this role that Virtue is doing, which is kind of one of the main support roles. I'm assuming he's juggling back and forth between Prano and himself in terms of the breaching capabilities and stuff like that. But he also plays a lot of Jaeger on defense, which you might think is like a dedicated roamer position, and it is. But the job that it fulfills is so freaking important in the meta, where it's just kind of like, okay, we're not bringing Jaeger because we want to, and it's fun. We're doing it because we need him. And I'm going to talk about that and some more. So strap yourselves in. Now, Virtue is, of course, on Jaeger because we can't trust him on any other kind of role, right? We can't trust him on operators that have active gadgets like Vigil, where they have to stay alive to get the most out of their gadget. We're putting Virtue on Jaeger so that he can put a couple of things down, and then if his dumbass dies trying to go for a pick, then he at least contributes something to the board, okay? You know, we know that he's going to swing something and die for no reason because he can't get kills. So we're going to put him on Jaeger and make sure that he can, you know, at least provide some value to the team, because we can't expect him to really bring anything else. You know, this is really smart decision-making here by Carlos, also known as Ocelot on Twitter.com. You know, Carlos and G2 management in general are known for being really bad at talent evaluation. Pretty much if Carlos thinks that you're the guy for your team, you're pretty much guaranteed you're just going to lose match after match. The guy is terrible at talent evaluation. He can't find good players, and Virtue is another example of this. So now Virtue, the bot, gives up opening pick on the first round of the game. He's the first person to get taken off the board because, of course, he is. Duh, right? Did we really expect anything different? Let's take a look at the round, how it plays out, and then blame him later. And we have a crouch-walking Amaru. We have nobody on this camera here. Nobody on the camera while Solid Snake here is sneaking around Mother Base. All right, here's the cam. Nobody's on the cam. Actually, I lied. So remember when your mom told you it's because you're always on that damn phone? Well, that's what Alamau Zidane should have been told, okay? Because he's always on his damn phone. Alamau's on Tinder while Amaru decides to walk past the default camera, and Alamau's giving swipes, and this is Virtue's fault. We already know how this is going to end, okay? We already know. And this is why I don't understand why G2 decided to pick up Virtue, because he clearly doesn't know what he's doing. The reason that Virtue died this round is because he didn't go to Ubisoft personally. He didn't go to Ubisoft headquarters to have an operator with giant Mickey Mouse ears that was capable of hearing the Amaru breach into the top of the big tower here. I'm obviously being sarcastic. Even the casters pointed out, right, that this, like, how does this happen?
Pick up Virtue locked out. Blur says, "Hello, how you doing?" And G2 go, uh-oh.
And it's a camera not watched, right? Like, there needs to be someone on the cams at all times, especially during that first minute. You need...
So, from my understanding, okay, I don't play for G2, obviously. If I played for G2, I wouldn't be making YouTube videos. The main purpose of the anchors when they are on site, right, when the site setup is done, is to periodically, like, flip through the cams and get an idea of what perimeter is being breached on the building to figure out where the enemy is coming from.
Drop and take.
And of course, I turn the audio down. And of course, you know, nobody's like, hello, right? Nobody's on this. These things happen. Timings happen. Okay, so you yourself, right? You shouldn't get hung up on little things that go by over the course of the match and kind of let them dampen your mood and dampen your team's mental. which I know is really hard to do when you're not playing for money and there's no particular investment in it. But in a ranked game, it's something to think about, right? So when Virtue is here, right? And I forget who his teammate was over on this spot. When Virtue is here, right? They're anticipating some kind of, I'm assuming like a west to east take by the attackers through showers, and then through the meeting hall here, and possibly try to get these hatches open to go for a freezer take, and maybe open up meeting too. Maybe get the meeting hatch later on. But they have a lot of manpower allocated to this side of the map. Virtue can't hear that, right? What the hell's going on over here? Right? He can't hear Amaru with the stupid, the right? Because then don't forget she also does the ladder trick where you can actually get up there and not make a sound cue for some reason. Fucking anywho, my point is, it's Virtue's fault for not anticipating this, okay? He should have been prepared. He should have been ready. All right. As I was saying before I got sidetracked, Virtue is currently 1-10-7. You can see him seething with rage as a result of his just absolutely lackluster performance throughout this game. Just knowing the fact that he has contributed absolutely nothing to get his team to this point is really just doing a number on his mental, and that's why he got picked up by G2, is because Ocelot likes to pick up emotionally people who can't regulate their emotions in a competitive environment. Ocelot's very notorious for that. So we're gonna see Virtue try to make up for his bad KDR by droning, which is only something that noobs do because they can't win gunfights, okay? Virtue's giving out callouts saying, like, I'm bad, I'm gonna drone someone out, please don't be mad at me, okay? He's gonna make a really, really important play here that would seem important if you're an idiot and can't win your gunfights, okay? This is the only reason this drone manages to help his teammates get a pick is because Virtue is leaning on the utility side of this game, which isn't as important as the fragging aspect of it, okay? The game is about getting kills. And anyway, so here's Yakety Yak on the top of the on the top of the thing, and he's gonna try to go for the drone and then give himself away, and then kaboom, right? Now you might say that Virtue was indirectly responsible for getting this pick, but look at the scoreboard, okay? Here's the kill feed. Doki did the thing, okay? Doki did the thing with the stuff, and the number went higher, but Virtue's number didn't go higher. Okay? So that's the most important takeaway from this whole situation. All right? That's the only thing you need to know, is that the number went higher and Virtue's didn't. So something else that Citizen does, he was 9-4. And we're going to relate this to Virtue and blame him again for this round. Because Citizen was 9-4, and now he's 9-5 because he gave up opening pick. Now, the thing about giving up opening pick for the attackers is that if you're on attack and you give up opening pick, it's going to make it really difficult for you to do what you want to do throughout the course of the round, because you're not going to have as many bodies to establish map control with. You're not going to have as many people to get trades off of. If you trade down all the way down to, you end up trading down to like a 1v2, and that's, of course, a difficult situation that that's heavily defender-sided. Even man count in a 5v5, 4v4, 3v3 is usually going to favor the defense, depending on most situations in terms of the timing and the amount of map control that you have. But the reason it's not a big deal that Citizen gave up opening pick is because he's positive. He has a positive KD, so he can afford to lose a couple of, he can afford to die twice or maybe even 3 times, but as long as his KD is positive, if they lose the game, they can go back to the end of the screen and say, hey, I know that I gave up opening pick 3 rounds in a row for no reason, but it's okay because I had a positive KD, and I'm allowed to yell at you guys in the post-game lobby screen and call you guys trash and blame my bottom fragger, which is, of course, Virtue, who's going 1-7-5, and is going to do nothing to account for this situation that just took place. So eventually, through the floor, Virtue's going to get into a gunfight with Thunder on Zulu. Now, Virtue, because he's 1-7-5, isn't going to take the gunfight as aggressively as he could to stat pad his KD because he's scared. You have man count. What you should do is take a gunfight for no reason, and with a minute and 47 seconds left on the clock where you can drone him out, try to do a little bit more in terms of how you're going to approach the actual take here. What Virtue's going to do is he's going to run away because I don't want to be 1-8. Here's a drone call out. Here is a red ping on the Zulu player. And then Doki's going to swing and then get this kill because Doki is amazing. He is so cracked at Fortnite. He didn't have information. He didn't have help from his teammates. He just did this completely by himself because Rainbow Six Siege is not a team-based game. See, he missed that shot. That Doki has never missed a shot in his life except for that one that he missed on a downed opponent. Actually, he did it on purpose as he's kind of like playing with his food. In like a predatory, kind of like how an apex predator sense does things, okay? So Virtue, you can see that he got an assist from the drone assist there. Nobody cares about assists in this game. If you get assists, it just means that you can't win gunfights. And Doki, who was cracked at Fortnite, manages to get the ace to close out the game. Virtue should be thanking his lucky stars that he is even able to grace Doki's presence. Okay, he put the team on his back. He did it all by himself. There was no other indications of how the match was going throughout the course of this if you watched it, where G2 was a cohesive team playing off of each other and doing their jobs and making sure that their entry fraggers are in positions to get kills. Nah, but in all seriousness, this was actually a really fun game to watch. Good job to G2. I'm really liking this roster. They seem to be clicking together pretty well. We'll see what happens at the at any LAN events with this particular 5 that we've got. It's not the original 5 with Fabian at the helm, but they're a very exciting team to watch, and I'm curious to see how it pans out for all these guys. So yeah, Virtue. Sorry to rag on you for 13 minutes. I hope you get the message. It's all jokes. Everybody on your team, you guys are doing a great job as far as I'm concerned. Keep up the good work. And everybody watching, I hope you learned something, man. It's not entirely a kill-based game. There's a lot more to this game. It's a lot more complicated than that. And something that's a little bit difficult to explain to NA players because we all grew up with Call of Duty. All right. Catch you all on the flip. Deuces.